Here's a quick question for all you agency folk. Is it getting easier or harder to get clients in 2025 going into 2026? You guys, if you are sensing, if you are feeling a change, a disruption somewhere in your business where it's feeling a lot more challenging to get clients, you are not alone and it is happening across the board. In this video, friend and agency juggernaut, Alex Branding, and I talk about his case study, how he's using UpEx, but also we talk about what is changing in the marketplace, what you need to do to win going into 2026. You can't sell websites and you can't be a, hey, I'm a this or that type of agency where you're just offering services to people anymore. The competition, the landscape, the market has changed. And if you don't know what to do, you're going to get left in the dust. So enjoy the video, comment, subscribe, all that kind of fancy stuff. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, I'm Alex, president of Agent CRM, one of the earliest CRMs on the high level platform. And we use UpHex starting about 2022, I think. So we started a few years ago. The thing that really drew us to UpHex was it made it so stinking easy for us to launch these ads and set up the templates. And as you call it, Sam, like ad franchising, like that. I love that term. That's how we built our lead generation model was for making it click and play for our insurance agents. We're leaning so much more into that going into next year. You're going to see a lot of announcements on the agent CRM side on how we're making UpEx even more accessible. We're populating it even more. We're using AI to create even more ads for the various insurance types. Our big claim to fame is making the entire platform a click and play platform for insurance agents, making it so they can log in, they go through the quick setup process, and then everything is ready to go for their insurance product. So they don't have to write emails, write text messages, build a funnel, none of that. It's all built out and ready to go for them.
Yeah. And you guys got into this in 2020. Is that what you said?
Yep. 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 My
Talk a little bit.
salesperson was Sean Clark. So it was like, it was the days when you could just slap a logo on high level, not call it high level. People were like, what is that? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is just our platform. And like, nobody knew who it was. It was the good old days, Sam. Now you cannot do that. The market has completely changed. There is no white label, high level, and make money thing now. Like that, those days are long gone. Now you got to be really unique. You got to come out with something awesome and amazing because not only are there a lot of high level entrepreneurs, but high level themselves are going after our clients by going directly to the business owner. So the market is blood red, using the red
Yes.
ocean, blue ocean. It is blood
Yeah.
red. Ton of people that are going after your customer. And you got to make it so that your customer looks at your offer and goes, okay, why would I choose that offer over going to high level directly? And you better make a really good case for that.
It's an important thing that you just said, honestly, because I think a lot of people still have the narrative of 2020 when you got started. And
Mhm.
it was slap your brand on this thing. But today, you guys, if you're watching this and you're thinking, hey, I'm having a hard time getting clients, getting attention, getting any interest, this doesn't sound like what I signed up for. It has everything to do with the current market dynamics. In sales, there's this phrase that goes, a tactic known is a tactic blown. Bless you. A tactic known is a tactic blown, right? Or in other words, the fact that when people are saying, oh, is this just high level?
Mhm.
Whatever, that means that you can't use that tactic anymore. And like you said, you have to get way more strategic. You have to find the offers, the angles, the positioning in the marketplace where you can actually add value and be the reason like, oh, I don't want to just go straight to high level. I have, plenty of reason to just stick around here. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. And I think most people don't understand why they try to build this business, this
Mhm.
SaaS. It's not a SaaS, really. I mean, you have a SaaS, Alex. I would argue that you have a SaaS. One, you have scale.
Yeah.
Okay. Two, your implementation is very productized, that you're not like providing a service. But the SaaS model today that people think is SaaS is not really the model that works anymore. Would you agree
No,
with that, or
no,
do you?
I would agree with that 100%. I was invited to speak on the SaaS panel last year at the High Level Summit, and I was asked a question that really stumped me. And they said, Alex, what would you advise someone who wants to start a high level SaaS and they don't have any money? And I was like, what I wanted to say is don't.
I know.
But I was on the panel, so I'm like, go door to door. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of hard to answer the question, but really, high level from a marketer's standpoint, high level was a great cash grab.
Yeah.
And us marketers love those. There's some products that are just they sell themselves. It's so easy. You're the ones that found out about it. Your customers want it. And so you can just offer it and people buy it. High
Yeah.
level's not that anymore. High level now requires you to build a brand, build trust, and build
Yes.
a whole setup, a perception, a feel, a level of service that has to go above and beyond what high level's doing because high level's going after your same customer now.
That's exactly
And
right.
not only is high level going after your customer, but you got affiliates that'll even help people set up their own high level. You got other white label agencies that are desperate. Most high level agencies that I'm seeing in the SaaS space are dying. And
Yes.
because they're dying, they're getting desperate. And so now that's who you're competing with. You're competing with people who are grasping for every last straw, trying to stay alive and stay profitable. And so that's the competition now. And so good news is, guess what? Not a lot of them are going to make it. It's going to bring like one of our biggest growth areas right now are people leaving other white label agencies and coming to Agent CRM because those white label agencies are dying, or they're giving up, they're quitting, and now they're looking for somebody else who can serve them at a high level. And they know like Agent CRM is that person for that in my niche in the insurance space.
Yeah.
And so, but for you watching right now, if you're a high level agency owner, the blueprint is not to follow what worked back in 2020 or even as recent as 2023. The blueprint has changed. Do not
Yes.
follow those business models.
Yes.
Really eke out what is going to be a white glove service that I can offer at a price point where I can get great recurring revenue, keep them sticky, and then build on top of that. The first sale is not the last sale. That's the one thing I tell agency owners. Set it up so that you're giving them something that sticks, and then provide upsells and higher levels of service after that. That's the way to $1 million.
It's funny that you're using that time frame of 2023
Mhm.
because I started seeing something in my audience in 2023, and I did a customer survey, right? I don't know if you've heard the story before, but
Nope.
I did a customer survey and I was like, what is going on? There's a transition happening. And there was these people saying, I've been doing this for several months now. I can't get anybody interested. I can't get clients. This is overwhelming. This is confusing. I basically what they got sold was not what it was.
Mhm.
And after listening to all these people, I'm like, that's the same thing I was up against in the SMMA model, right? That same thing happens in every single business model. A business model works and then it doesn't. And if you don't know the fundamentals, like you're talking about, the red ocean, blue ocean, how to position
Yep.
yourself as a very valuable thing, then you're going to get hosed. Which is why that's the entire reason we created our agency MVP program was to say, hey, I can show you how to basically do everything you need to do to reposition yourself in the market so you can get all the money or you can get all the people leaving the other, the other white label products that just
Yep.
don't provide any value. This
Yep.
is this is the time to either pivot, transition, or die, like do something else. Because
Yeah.
you're right, that day is come and gone. It's past. So,
Yep.
and high
Yep.
levels going after your customers too.
Yeah, yeah, and they're not being quiet about it. I mean, they're showing up at the same conferences I'm going to, going after the same insurance agents that I'm going after, and so I'm put in a position where I now have to position I have to say, this is why you should choose me as agent CRM over them over there,
Yeah,
directly going to high level, and it
yeah,
was not the case back in the day. And so, that started happening in 2023. High
yeah,
Level changed their model from going as just serving agency owners and SaaS owners to going directly for the business owner. And when they
yeah.
stepped into that world, they're a behemoth. and now they're making it so that they not only give the business owner the tools, but they're stepping up their internal support for these business owners that are coming directly to them. And so what used to be a good sales point was like, hey, I'll help you get everything set up. That was you as the white label. Well, now high levels, like, don't even worry about it. Like, come to us, jump on Zoom calls, get customer support. We will help you get set up. They're stepping into that. So it's a much more difficult model to win, especially if you're new. It's not impossible. It's just more difficult. So if you know that going into it, like, okay, I know that high levels going after my people. I know that affiliates are going after my people. How am I going to set myself up as a white label agency? I think the answer is service and results, and that's it. That's the only thing you can do. I don't think the
Yeah.
software is going to be the pitch anymore.
Yeah, the software is not the pitch. And in fact, most people who are pitching the software are pitching, they're either feature-based selling or process-based
Mhm.
selling. And you talked about results, outcome. You have to be an outcome-based seller. That's
Yep.
really what this thing is all about. And
Yep.
you just got to be a specialist. The beauty about, if you know it, the beauty about competing with high level is they're not going to be specialists at anything. I
No.
mean, we know
No.
that. So they're not going to, even though they're going to the insurance agent, they're not able to tailor to the outcomes that the actual agent wants, right? And I guess
Right.
like one arrow in your quiver would be UpEx. I mean, just to give
Absolutely.
myself a plug, talk about that.
Yeah, because when an insurance agent comes to us, and I'll share my story, and then you listening can plug in your own niche. When they come to us, what they're looking for is they're looking for ease of use, a system that's ready to go, and a support system in case they get stuck. And so with a high level platform, we're giving them workflows, funnels, and everything else that is standard. But also with the UpHex edition, now we're making it so they get all of our ads that we've created specifically for their insurance product line. UpEx has done something really cool last year. I think you started offering this in I think July, showing stats about how the ads are doing across all the different
Yeah.
users that are using the ads. That has made it so much easier for us to sell our lead generation services because it's not an estimate now. It's
Yeah.
like, would you like us to show you on a screen share how our ads are doing over the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, etc.? Like, give me a time range and I'll show you as we screen share how our ads are doing. And if you're paying more for your leads than this ad, then now you can judge like real
Yeah.
examples. Here you go, and it's making the sale much easier for us to make. And that's huge. One of the things that, as an agency owner, one of the things that you can do is you can offer certainty, right? People pay
Yes.
for certainty. And when they know, okay, Agent CRM has the life insurance bundle built out with the website ready to go and the ads to drive people into my pipeline, I'm selling certainty. I'm wrapping it in software and services, but I'm really selling certainty, and they're
Yeah.
happy to pay for that. I got to
Yeah.
deliver on that, but that's what I'm selling.
That's smart. No, that makes a ton of sense, and it is. I mean, clients will always. There's only three ways to grow a business: like get more customers, sell to them more, or increase your prices. And the
Mhm.
one that you can actually control as a third party is getting more customers. You can't make them increase their prices, really. And getting them to get people more in is more a product of how they operate their business anyway. You
Yeah.
know,
In the
so
insurance space, they definitely cannot raise their prices. So they
yeah,
must get more customers and then make more sale per customers. So
yeah, that's right.
that's the only levers that they can pull. And so if I can offer them and say, hey, if you work with me, I'm going to certainly bring you more customers. And then I have, features that help drive more sales per customer. And they can see that and they go, you know what? I believe that Alex is going to help me do this. Then it becomes a much easier sale.
Yeah, that's right. You're actually again, my friend Rebecca has this thing that she says. Rebecca Duran. Hi, Rebecca. Uh,
Mhm.
value equals usefulness, right? People will always pay for value, but value is such a vague, big, floaty, lofty word that people just throw around. Well, what is it? Is it useful?
Mhm.
And then useful has a spectrum. like it's this useful, that useful, or whatever. Other than that, if it's not useful, then you don't got a business, right? You got to
Yeah.
be able to produce results and outcomes.
Yep.
That's awesome, dude. I'm actually really. We haven't talked a lot before this. You know, you've been. How long have you been an UpEx user, by the way?
I would think I was one of the first,
I was
man.
gonna say you've been along for
Yeah,
around for a long
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. I want to say we were one of the first people to start using UpEx. I want to say we started using it internally in like 2022, but I don't know if my dates are right on that. So,
That would have been like a year or a couple months in. Yeah, that's right around. Definitely, that's when we started doing it. So, yeah, you guys have been around a long time. I've seen you at high level things, but
yeah,
I'm always getting pulled in like that direction and then this direction, and then you see somebody and you know. So this year we got to say, "Oh, hello" from across the room.
yeah.
Uh,
And I was like, we got to chat, man.
I
So,
know,
yeah, I'm
dude.
glad we were able to connect.
I know, man. Hey, well, I appreciate you giving just that. It's like an unvarnished look at really what's happening. And I think that
Yeah,
landscape and everything, I think it's really, really, really important. You guys have built an incredibly, you have thousands of clients, don't you?
yeah.
Thousands of clients. And whether you want thousands of clients or whether you want just enough clients to make 15, 20 grand a month, if you don't know the playground, if you don't know what's happening and you're trying to
Hmm.
build something and all you like the market is completely against you, then it's just kind of silly. So
Yeah.
this has been awesome. So I guess final parting words.
Mhm.
If you were to say, hey, if there's something in 2020, end of 2025, going into 2026 that you think an agency should be doing, other than obviously using UpEx like a beast, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Going into 2026, if you're going to be serving other small business owners, you need to provide certainty, value, and most of all, support. One of the biggest things that's killing agencies and marketers in general is a lack of support. They're not
Yeah.
using the tools that they're selling. They're not using AI responses. They're not using ticketing systems that, they're advising their clients to use. I see agencies like, man, I wish my people would call their leads, but then they're not actually getting back to their clients in a reasonable time, right? So it's about doing the little things to get people to believe that you can deliver the big results. It is no longer about selling software. It's about selling certainty, service, and support. And if you are an agency owner right now and you're just getting started, you're ready to get off the ground, and you want to really make it to that gold, platinum, or diamond level, you need to specialize, because being a generalized
Yes.
agency is not going to get you anywhere. You got to specialize, pick a niche really deep down, or dive deep down, make sure that you can accurately look someone in the eyes and tell them what their problem is
Yep.
to a T, and then exactly how you're going to solve it. And if you do that, then you'll make a lot of money in this business.
I love it. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the Bald Brothers, we're gonna go out on, we'll go out with the old baldness there together.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this, buddy. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Good to see you,
And
Sam. Thanks for having me on.